Hey everyone, this is David from In the First Place Astrology, and welcome everyone to my channel on YouTube. I'm here today with Elsa from Hellenistic Astrology channel on YouTube. We have an ongoing series on that other channel from Elsa, where we're doing this longer introduction to the Decans in our in this new series that she came up with, and that Katie, our friend, is helping us get through with the analysis of a few sources on those decans. So we go through sources like Susan T. Chang with 36 Faces book. Is that it?
36
Yeah.
Secrets, and she kind
Secrets.
of models it after the 36 Faces, which is Austin Kopic's Decanic journey book.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
That's it. And we go also over the pick a tricks. So you guys can really see the major deep diving into the astrological significations and correlations that those sources make in those videos. We're doing this to deepen our knowledge about the decans, as well as bring to you some kind of, study practice that you can have with us that will also benefit you. So to start off, I want to say that we are going to be introducing this smaller companion series in my channel to this major series in Elsa's channel that I was referring to, and Dhee from Sunchilde Tarot, who usually does the lunation videos or the full moon and new moon videos with me, is going to be on here as well, talking about the different tarot decks that he's got access to, and some other topics that I want to mention in relation to the decanic associations to the tarot and how they're depicted and expressed in the tarot world. First, Elsa and I would like to go with you guys through a few bullet points. So if you could mention to us, Elsa, a few things that are related to Aries 1 that we covered in the other video.
Yeah, like once we did the other video, we wanted to do a deep dive with Dhee, and we realized we're just going to pontificate for hours, but we wanted to do like a short and concise version for y'all to just like catch up on. If it, sparks you, then you can just take those quick little dives that'll hopefully be like 15 minutes with Dhee. And then we'll do this. We'll kind of give you guys the little bullet points to watch out for. So we talk about in the other video, and here Austin Kopic talks about this, or I guess defines it or calls it the axe. And he talks about it as the primordial splitter. And then we have kind of the classical hermetic deck of the tarot, as well as just in general, this decan.
Oh, and by the way, I don't think we mentioned this, but this is about the Aries 1 decan. It's the first decan of the Zodiac, which starts off the whole thing of the 36 faces. And it's the first decan of Aries, the first 10 degrees, therefore, of that particular sign. That's the division that we're referring to in this video. Primarily.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so this is our short clip, quick take, hot take, Aries 1, the first face of the 36 faces, and it's called the axe, or it's also referred to like classically as the Lord of Domination. And then we've also got it referred to in T. Susan Chang's book as Seeds of Domination. So you can kind of see the thread running through it there. And then, David, you want to talk about the decan and its rulers real quick?
Sure. I want to mention to you guys as well that Mars is the ruler of the decan, as well as the sign. So you have a very martial attitude being translated through that particular portion of the Zodiac. Therefore, you're going to have things like aggression, authoritarianism, imposition, as well as entitlement, and things that are pertaining to Mars being very much emphasized, especially when the sun is transiting that particular decan. This is an important feature as well. We are talking about this decan in relation to the sun as it's transiting it, because the sun, it shines a light and it lets through the significations of the deities or the forms of these particular energies that are most ideal into the material world becoming that we are a part of, into this reality, this physical material reality that is contained in time. Anyway, so
yeah, and that's what the decan walk anyways, what we're referring to is that we're going to do it live. Like as the sun's transiting through the decan, we're bringing you that as hopefully the sun illuminates us to some of the significations, So in this Aries 1, like David was saying, it's this double Martian, Aries is ruled by Mars, and then each decan has its ruler, and again, it's Mars here. And so some of the list of the qualities that we're going to find with that kind of like bridled Martian. It's the first Decan. It's, I don't want to say it's immature, but it's first, right? So it's this bang kind of right on the spot energy. So it's very hot and very dry, exceedingly so with the Mars. And then it's really fast in nature, which we're kind of alluding to with that first big bang vibe. It can be violent, it can be shameless ambition, shameless wealth even, which we totally dig into on the long version. So check it out if you want to keep diving into that.
And I want to add also that our videos on this, they have brought up things that within our personal lives, after being made conscious and going through these significations together with Katie and Elsa in the other video, I really started seeing how Aries 1 Decan has been manifesting in my life all around. And these associations have been more alive than ever. So I do advise you guys to keep following this thread with us, because you might benefit a lot from just observing the energies around you once you've been made conscious of them with us through these study sessions.
Absolutely.
So without further ado, I want to ask you guys if you're enjoying the content that we're putting out, and especially if you enjoy this one, for you to subscribe, give us a like and a comment. It won't take much. If you can just leave an emoji, will already help the YouTube algorithm to spread our video to people who could benefit from listening to what we have to say here. And if you enjoyed it, that's a way to help. So thank you for being here. And now to Dhee with the Decan's interpretation through the tarot.
Hi, my name's Dhee, your professor of woo-woo, and you can find me on Sunchilde Tarot. I'm sure there will be a link down below. So we're having a look at the first Decan of Aries. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of it, which is the Two of Wands, Susan T. Chang also associated the Tower due to Mars and the Emperor due to Aries. So let's just start with the Tower, because it's not my favourite card, but it's one of my favourite cards. So we have traditionally the bolt of lightning coming and toppling people from their towers. We have the sense of impending, oh my God, what's going on? Everything's crumbling down. But yes, it is about crumbling. It is about getting down to the very foundations. I love when the Tower appears in a reading, because there is this sense of boiling everything down to its firm foundations. This is what we have to build upon. And I think that's best summed up by the Tarot Apocalypsis, where we see this shaman at the front of the burning tower, who is in a ritual achieving some form of enlightenment by getting rid of all the nonsense. That's the power of Mars there. That initial strike, if we look at the Thoth Tarot, we can see there's that sense from the eye at the top, or the lightning strikes that you see appearing on other cards. There is this sense of something being imposed, something coming in and stripping it away, but you don't lose anything that you need. It's not like it's a bolt of lightning that comes down and destroys the planet. It does not destroy the earth that you are stood upon. It's just destroys some, if not all, of the constructs that you have built up around you. Now, the Emperor. This card represents Aries in and of itself. Now, this is an interesting one. You can turn around and you can say that it issues a great deal of stubbornness, inflexibility. But there's another, I couldn't find which deck it was in, but there's another Emperor card where you have the Emperor on his throne looking at children playing. I wish I could remember which deck it was. I couldn't find it this morning. And there's also, so there's that sense of dominion. There's that sense of responsibility. It's not just I'm in charge. It's I'm in charge, therefore I have a duty. And that is where some of that stubbornness and inflexibility can come from, because sometimes the Emperor is the person that kings report to. Sometimes the Emperor can see a bigger picture that each individual can't. But again, this is, now which one's this? This is the Gilded Tarot. And we see the Emperor here stood in the center of, let me pull that back a bit so it's in focus, stood in the center of the entire Zodiac. He knows what his realm is that he's needing to legislate, guide, look after. But there is that warlike energy. There is that warlike, okay, bring it on then. Because an emperor's role is to defend his empire from threats within and without. He needs to keep his empire together and protect its borders. So there's some of the overarching issues that now we get, like I say, to the meat and potatoes. Those are some of the overarching issues that this Two of Wands is in receipt of. If you think of the Two of Wands as the first decan of Zodiac, that's the first breath, the having just arrived, the landing in a new situation. And therefore, the Two of Wands I've found in my readings over the years have quite a few different meanings. There is traditionally the need to make a decision. Now, here is a merchant surveying. You could say it's a nobleman surveying his empire. You could say it's a merchant making his plans. I've got merchant stuck in my head for some reason. And there's that need to choose one wand that he is held onto, or does he let go of that and pick up the other wand? Or has he abandoned something by taking the wand in one hand and the globe in the other? There is that sense of, do I go this way? Do I go that way? Like, you'll find a lot of tarot decks have this twin path, saying, which way are you going to go? But sometimes when that decision is pending, what the decision is not always obvious. So sometimes this situation can be, this card can represent impatience. It can represent dissatisfaction. Here in the Tarot Apocalypsis, we see that there is boredom. The boredom of, is this it? Is this what we're doing? Something needs to change. We need to make a decision. So again, you need to make a decision. But we need to make a decision to make something different about the situation that we're in. There's another aspect with the Two of Wands, of course, is planning. You've landed, you know, we're first decan of Aries. Okay, you've landed. So what do you do now? Where do you go now? And why do you go there now? And so that's what this guy in the traditional Rider-Waite is thinking about, is like, okay, I'm here, I need a plan, because otherwise I'll just end up staying here for days on end and achieve nothing. And one thing that, especially if you are working in service to the Emperor, let's get the more traditional Emperor here rather than the scary one. If you are working in service to the Emperor, then pretty much you probably need to be doing something. And also, again, let's stick with that merchant idea. So he's going to increase his business. He's going to get new customers. He's going to go to new lands. He's going to expand his production facilities. He's going to employ more workers, whatever it is. In the Thoth Tarot, we have dominion. And so there is that expression of, if this is a nobleman, he is an expression of the Emperor's power. And here, if he is a merchant, then it's his business power that he's wanting to expand. And so the Two of Wands offers that choice of, what do you want to take charge of? But sometimes, and this is the Spellcaster's Tarot, it can indicate that there is some guidance coming along to say, hey, have you noticed this choice ahead of you? Because sometimes people don't always know that they're choosing. They have a natural momentum in whatever direction that they're going in. And if you take that idea of the first decan of Aries, you've just arrived and you hit the ground running because you want to do, you want to act, you have a duty, and you have a motivation because there's scary bolts of lightning coming down from the sky to get you moving. But sometimes a direction is set and you just keep going and keep going. And the fact that there is a decision to available to you to change direction is not always glaringly obvious. And this is why I like out the Spellcaster's Tarot, the little bird that is speaking to the man before he's chosen either of the wands. He's taking a moment just to go, okay, right, I'm here. What am I looking at? So the first decan of Aries is ruled by, as all the decans are, one goetic spirit by day and one goetic spirit by night. So we have at the first 5 degrees as well, Baal. Now, the decans can be further subdivided into quinances. The quinances are ruled over by one angel and one demon. For 0 to 4 degrees, we have Baal and the angel Vehuya, who is very much about what you're wanting to start and giving guidance on starting the right things. For the second 5 degrees, we have Agares and Jeliel. Jeliel is recapturing the sparks, which I think is quite an interesting image, especially in the light of that Tower card and the lightning coming down, but also the things have been swept away. Okay, what do we want to rebuild that worked before, and what do we want to do new? So, by day and by night, the decans are also ruled by a goetic spirit. Baal, as I said, rules by day. Now, Baal is in his power in the first 5 degrees of Aries and is still rules by day in the second half. Baal has been described by some famous magician, I've suddenly forgotten off the top of my head, as pure Rufus Opus, as pure kingliness, and teaches witchcraft. He has that element of dominion. He has that presence that almost reminds me of Yaldabaoth from Gnostic myth, that when Yaldabaoth or Yaldabaoth actually came to Earth, he had no connection with any divine power higher than him. Therefore, he believed he was the divine power and was in charge. And there's that sense of authority that, again, the Emperor is putting forward. Now, by night, this is ruled by the goetic spirit Phoenix, who appears as a phoenix. Now, Phoenix is a fallen angel, wants to return to heaven, believes that he can, sings with the voice of a child. So there's that, with that wanting to return to heaven, okay, I'm here, what do I do? Can I go home again? But as we know from that Tower card, you can't go home again. So there is that call for rebirth, the phoenix, or the urge to go, yeah, I don't want to be here. Nah, oh well, tough, you know, so it's rebirth or nothing. And that's why I think sums up, certainly with these cards, making the decision. What is that choice? Rebirth or nothing?
Well, Dee, that was amazing. Thank you for being here with us and introducing us to this new perspective on tarot. And in this Aries one bit, especially. Thank you for all the analogies that you presented us with in the different depictions of the different tarot decks and all of that you did. I really loved it. And
yeah, with the Goetia. Yeah, right. The Goetia too, which is something that we didn't cover in the longer video. So it's a unique perspective to these shorts. So stay tuned for that.
Dhee has an amazing work in Sunchilde Tarot when it comes to talking about angels and demons pertaining to each portion of the Zodiac. He talks about the Goetias, as Elsa was saying, and many other kinds of deities that he works with in his daily practice, and that he's got much experience and authority to talk about, much more than I can. So make sure to check his channel out. You're probably going to find a lot of interesting information related to tarot, astrology, and these other deities that he works with. They're very interesting and very interesting topic to go through.
Yeah.
So we're coming to a close now of this short video and introduction to the Decan. Remember to check out our latest update on Elsa's channel, Hellenistic Astrology one. And what else do you got going on for you, Elsa, at the moment? And what are your offerings?
I do your basic natal, electional, I do astrological work, and you can follow me, like on the Hellenistic Astrology YouTube. Eventually I'll have a whole build out from that. We have a few things going like Patreon, Instagram, but that's coming, and it will, like a proper website and everything will be, coming forth, right? But now just follow us on YouTube and stay tuned while we go through the Decans in real time.
Yeah, and we have a lot of joint projects coming up as well, not only on Elsa's channel, but we also have this amazing page that's just started a few weeks ago of the Astro Collective, which is this group of astrologers that we are a part of. And we make regular updates. Whenever we do updates on our own pages, we update there. The people that are a part of the collective are updating it constantly. So it's a place where you can get like combined information and multiple sources, because each of us also mention in our own private work different astrologers that we are referring to in order to have an outline of study and all these things. So be sure to check that out as well. I'm going to input all the links in the description to Dhee's channel, to the Astro Collective's page, each of our pages, Elsa's channel. And also I want to say that I have my own channel on Instagram and on Facebook. I have my pages there, and I have my own website where I have my offerings laid out in the services page. So you can check that out as well. In the first place, astrology.com. Yes. In the first place, astrology, my handle on Instagram as well. And yeah, be sure to come back for more updates shortly. We're going to be updating this, I think, every 10 days or so. It's not going to be that far apart. So be sure to check these other channels and come back soon. Thank you for watching. Thank you also for being here.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
See you all next time. Cheers.